Hey, this is Jason, and I'm going to be making some vegetable soup today. I've been making a vegetable soup I've been having for, I don't know, like 3 to 4 months. And I've lost like 20 pounds, and a lot of people have been asking me how I make it and all that kind of stuff. I also got this new wireless mic over here, and it's a WM Pro by Asden. So I'm also testing it out, and just everything fell in place. I got the wireless mic, I got the vegetables, and we're gonna do this. We're gonna make a video and make some soup and show you guys how I make my soup. First thing we're gonna do is get our vegetables, and this is from Costco. It's organic, and they're just a mixture of different vegetables. So I'm gonna grab some vegetables here. I'll put it inside. This is the Vitamix I also got at Costco, and it just helps me with mixing up the vegetables. Before I used to chop them by hand, and I got too lazy, and I realized that it tastes the same if I use the machine, so it just saves me a bit of time. So I'll put this much in here. I'm going to put some water in here. I put about this much water in here. And by the way, the vegetables are frozen. You don't have to, you could thaw them, it makes it easier, or you could do it like this. I usually do thaw it, but I didn't think about it beforehand. So what you want to do is you want to put enough water, blend nicely, and get chopped up. So we're going to start off at number 1 and turn it on here. Alright, so this is kind of what it looks like. I put on number 1. You don't want to put it on, well, I mean, you could put it whatever you want, but I like a number 1 because it kind of leaves, you know, a bit of, it makes it a little bit like chunky, but not too chunky. If you put it on a higher speed, it's just going to turn it into like a liquid, and then it won't have, you know, any, when you're drinking your soup, it'll be like drinking a drink and not having like a hearty, chunky type of soup. So I like it kind of hearty and chunky. So, and then, you know, you could, there's some pieces that didn't chop all the way, that's fine. You know, it depends how you want to do it. I'll just go over here and I dump it into my can over here, my pot. And this pot I got at Sam's Club. It was like 20 something dollars. And I really recommend getting a large pot because, you know, I like to make the soup maybe every 2-3 weeks or a month, and I'll, you know, kind of fill it up to here, and then I'll have it for a while. To make, the way I see it is there's not much point to make a smaller soup and have to do this once a week, because it does stay good for, you know, 3 to 4 weeks. So I like to make a good amount, and then that way I'm good for the month, and when I'm hungry, I got my soup, I could eat it, and I don't have to, you know, every week do this process over again. Finish the rest of this bag, and I will see you in a few minutes. All right, so I'm done the chopping process, and just kind of give you a little look here of what it looks like. I don't know if you can see inside there, but you have all the vegetables chopped up. It took me about 5 minutes, a bit less. There's some water in there. Here, this is organic marinara sauce from Trader Joe's, 2 of them. And I like to buy the marinara because it already comes with a lot of ingredients built in already. I mean, they put their spices and all that stuff to make it taste good. So for me, I figure, why trying to reinvent the wheel when they're already doing a lot of it for you? So this will give it some good flavor. Just take 2 of them, just dump it in. Okay. And actually, I keep these. I'll wash them out and keep them. And these are great to keep for storing the soup. So every time I make soup, I'll end up with 2 more jars. Now I think I have like, I don't know, like a lot of jars. So I just keep my jars, and I use these for storage, and I'll put them in the refrigerator, and then I'll have them. And I'm going to do that at the end. I'll show you guys. And then what I also use is some tomato paste. Again, it's like organic from Trader Joe's. And I like to cook with organic stuff as much as possible. I just, based on stuff that I've read, it apparently supposed to be good for everybody, but especially for kids. And if I get my kids to eat this stuff, they say that the organic stuff is better for the kids. So, the nice thing about Trader Joe's is that they don't charge that much more money for organic. It's like another, usually like, let's say something's $2, so it'd be like $2.15 for organic. So they don't kill you on it. So, for the extra, like, what is it, 8%, I'll, get it organic and good for the environment, hopefully good for the kids, or better. Okay, so the next thing I have here is again from Trader Joe's. It's a confetti rice. And this is a rice with lemongrass, baby corn, and ginger. And, I use this just kind of just by like doing an experiment one day. And it actually gave it a really nice flavor. The combination of the soup I just made there and the lemon taste, it really, gave it a nice flavor. And so much so that I actually, a lot of times in my soup, I'll put this in, but then I'll also put in a dash of lemon juice. And I don't know, for some reason, lemon it really goes well with this soup. Dump it in. So we have this confetti rice with the lemon and all that good stuff. We have our tomato, we have our vegetables, and the last thing I'm going to put in is like some quinoa. So I have here some red quinoa from Trader Joe's, and sometimes I'll put in a lot, I'll put in a little. Today, just it depends on how I feel that day. Today I'll just kind of go like this. Spread some, and that's about right. And what the quinoa does is it kind of gives it that thickness to it, and it kind of just fills it in a bit, makes it more of a stew than a soup. So I like putting this stuff in, and apparently it's pretty good. So that's my base. So now I have this here. And I noticed that it's a little bit low on water, so I'll just fill it in with some water. So here is some water. I'm just gonna start pouring it in, and I'm gonna wait till there's like a nice little layer of water. So this seems like a good amount. Let's finish it. I mean, the thing with water is that if you have too much, just let it boil a bit more, and it's gonna burn off the water. And it depends on your taste, if you like it more watery or more of a thick stew. So that's it. Now we're ready to get rolling. And the fire's on. Just throw this onto the fire, and I'll keep an eye on it. Now the cool thing about this is the ingredients I put in. The nice thing about vegetable soup is that you could pretty much put in any vegetable you want. I mean, this is what I choose to put in, but you could put anything in here. And a neat way to add more ingredients to your vegetables is to go through your fridge and see what stuff do you have lying around that's kind of not gonna make it, it's gonna end up in the trash. So I'm looking through here, and I have this here, and let's see, I got this over here. So we have this left over from a party, and we have some tomatoes, some carrots, some broccoli, some snap peas, and it's kind of been sitting in the fridge for it's been about a week now, and pretty soon it's going to start getting bad and end up in the garbage can. So instead of wasting it, what I'm going to do is put this in the blender. And now this one, I'm not going to blend on number one. I'm going to blend it high, and I'm going to make this into a liquid. Because like this here, I don't know, it's like I don't think the texture would be really good in a soup. But put some water with the snap peas, and we're going to liquefy this. And I guess part of this is being a guy and enjoying liquefying stuff. I don't know, just kind of cool. So just start slowly, And again, this is just leftover stuff. You know, instead of it ending up in the trash, it's going to end up in my soup, and it's going to be a lot of nice vitamins, especially, you know, you could, when you leave, you could, I'm going to be having the skin off the snap peas. Usually people don't eat that. So I'm going to throw it up here. Okay, so now I have my snap peas and all my cool stuff, basically a liquid. Just dump it in here. And now my soup just got that much more nutritious. I'm going to give it probably like half an hour. You want to wait till everything is boiling, and you know, kind of taste it, make sure it's ready. Now now you notice, like, oh, I didn't put salt, I didn't put any, you know, pepper or anything. And the reason I do that is because, you know, I find that every time I have soup, I like to have it different. Sometimes I want it with more salt or less salt. So I always make my my soup base plain, and I always will add my pepper. Like, for example, this is a lemon pepper, so I'll have a lemon pepper one time. I'll put a bit of salt. I could put some of this in there, some consomme. Sometimes what I do is I'll take some beans, like some Heinz beans, and I'll have like a bean vegetable soup. Or I'll like my wife, she'll take chicken and put some chicken inside the soup. So I just make a base soup, and then once it's ready, I'll can it. I'll put it in a bowl, and I'll add things to it, and then that way I could have the soup basically every day, and it tastes different because I'm adding different ingredients to make it taste different. All right, so now we have the soup boiling, and pretty much once you're boiling at this level, that means the soup is pretty much cooked. Now you could let it boil and burn off some water, or if you like how it is, you could just shut off the knob. Like, I'll just shut it off and let it simmer. And you could even put the top back on, and you could let it cook. Just let all this, it will still cook in there probably for a good 20 minutes. So depending on how your soup came out, in terms of how much water you have, we could stir it, and you could see, so here's kind of all the good stuff on the bottom. For me, this is a bit watery, so I'm going to probably let it boil for another 10 minutes, and then it should be perfect. Well, here we have it, our bowl of soup. This is what it looks like, ready to eat. Fresh, healthy vegetable soup. And like I said, you could add some different things, like you have some spices, you could add beans, you could add some lemon. I'm going to add a little bit of this Southwest spice, it's a little tad. And mix it in, and it's ready to eat.